got a glimpse of Kojima Productions' first attempt at an open-world stealth game in Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. But believe me, Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain is much, much bigger than that. After spending 12 hours with the near final game, I'm impressed by just how much game there is to the next chapter in the Metal Gear series. It has near endless ways to tackle a scenario, an arsenal of weapons, gear, and a home base to develop from the ground up. The enemies are fun to fight, choke, slam, and disarm. And most importantly, every completed mission and resource gathered contributes to the bigger whole, since you're rebuilding Snake's world one piece at a time. Afghanistan and much later Africa are impressive sandboxes on their own terms, despite not having the hustle and bustle of a GTA-level metropolis. The canyons and jungles stretch for miles in every direction, with lots of soldiers, wildlife, and other surprises to discover. Enemy soldiers have different patrols during the day versus night, and you can find them holed up in the many installations scattered across the landscape. If you're a better stealth agent at night, a few pulls of the Phantom cigar will initiate a time lapse that changes the time of day. Enemy AI is better than ever, and I ended up with a handful of sneaky trips through the enemy camp where no one knew I was there, and a few that turned sour and became a smash and grab job. This dynamic switch in such a big open space made my adventures and failures feel unique and unlike anything Metal Gear has done before. In a lot of ways, Metal Gear Solid 5 is the perfect union of the exterior areas born in Metal Gear Solid 3 and the tight, episodic mission-based structure of Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. There's a lot to do, from securing valuable intel and resources, to kidnapping soldiers using the Fulton recovery system, a hilarious gag that results in a cool payoff, manpower that you can use to build a bigger, better army. Taken soldiers can be turned to recruits, split up into teams like R&D, medical, and intel. Each one plays a vital role in elevating Snake's base from under construction installation to military superpower. On the road to strengthening their home base, players can choose between tackling beneficial side ops or tear through the episodic missions that weave into the main story. Objectives destroyed or intel gained impacts the world as a whole, giving you reasons to explore both paths for a sizable payoff. Once you've gathered enough men and resources, you can build additional wings and add defenses to your forward operating base, an area that other players can invade and steal resources from. Regardless of which side you choose, the most important function to wrap your brain around is the iDroid, a device that Snake uses to summon supplies, manage weapons and base development, or call in for chopper pickup at the end of a play session. It's a major piece of equipment that plays a central role in making Snake and his army stronger. Expansions like this sonic pulse that can detect nearby targets, or the upgraded Fulton recovery balloon that allows you to steal anything that's not nailed to the ground, are locked behind building up Mother Base. This installment has some of the most fun tools I've seen in a Metal Gear yet, from inflatable dummies that can push a soldier clear off a ledge, to stun arm upgrades that can shock an enemy senseless. As with Metal Gear, it's not what tools you have in battle, but the myriad of creative ways you can use them. Perhaps the most exciting piece of Metal Gear Solid 5 we didn't get a ton of playtime with is the buddy system, where Snake can bring along an AI-driven companion to help him accomplish missions in the field. At TGS, we saw Quiet in action, as the controversial character covered Snake's movements with suppressing fire. And who could forget the jaw-dropping sequence involving shooting a grenade out of the air next to a chopper? Sequences like this might seem scripted for a good demo, but in what we played of Metal Gear Solid 5, they're entirely possible to pull off. Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain is shaping up to be one of the most polished open-world games I've played, with lots of missions to complete, resources to gather, and equipment to develop. If the rest of the game is as impressive, it might be one of the best stealth action games yet made. For more Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain coverage, sneak on over to IGN.